Now, speaking of online influence and the so-called cancel culture, the latest victim being the director of UNRWA's Gaza branch, Matthias Shmale, receiving a torrent of condemnations and calls for resignation after commenting in an interview that Israel's recent airstrikes in the Gaza Strip appeared to be precise and sophisticated, nearly completely avoiding, with few exceptions, all civilian targets. He also denied that there are any shortages of food, medicine, or water, as Israel has reopened all of the crossings. But under pressure by Hamas terrorists and anti-Israel activists, Shmale has recanted and apologized. My next guest, on the other hand, works daily to counter the waves of online misinformation and anti-Israel propaganda. Israel human rights activist Hananya Naftali. Hananya, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much.
It's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me.
So it's been reported that bots, so-called sock puppets, and foreign actors are paying to promote real but otherwise unseen content on social media, and that is mostly to blame for the online discourse, or the heightened online discourse that's going on right now. How much do you see online that is coming from legitimate critics as opposed to echo chambers of divisive or even fake accounts?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great question. And I can tell you that during the recent operation, we have seen a lot of bots, a lot of illegal activity actually on social media, people who are trying to, bots, who are trying to, change people's opinions illegally. During this operation, I have seen a lot of Palestinian activists who are always commenting immediately right after I would post something. They would immediately post comments bashing Israel, comments with the flag of Palestine or something like that, trying to show people that this is the majority and we are the minority. But I think that what we should remember is that there are millions of people around the world who are tremendous supporters of Israel and who are supporting Israel on social media, offline as well. And I think that that's something that we should not forget, because these bots, these technological tools are obviously trying to change our opinion.
You yourself, actually, especially during the last conflict, have seen an explosion in your viewership, in your subscribership, and people seeing your content. Have you seemingly changed any minds, or are you preaching to the choir, so to speak?
Well, that's something that I always think about, because I make videos on social media and with the intention to change people's opinions. My target audience is not those that hate Israel so deeply, because you will not be able to change their opinion. What I'm trying to reach on social media is those that are thinking, that have doubts. And well, I received many interesting messages and comments, and obviously you see millions of big numbers, but what I really want to know is if I'm making a difference. And I can tell you that I received a lot of messages from Jews, Christians, Muslims. An example, I got a message from an Arab from the United Arab Emirates who told me in private that well, thank you for speaking out. Thank you for sharing the truth, because I did not know that that it's actually the Palestinian rioters who are throwing rocks and fireworks at the Israeli police and then run to hide inside Al-Aqsa Mosque. I thought that it's the Israeli police just willingly breaking into the mosque. So I think that there's deep value in that, and I also receive messages from Jews around the world. Nowadays we see a worrying spike in antisemitism, and I receive messages from Jews that I remember this message in particular. A Jew from France was telling me that I was scared to wear a necklace with the Magen David, the Star of David, and well, seeing that there is so many supporters, so many friends of Israel, it gave me the courage.
I know that there are a lot of people, the average pro-Israel supporter, or even just a Jew, trying to combat some of the anti-Semitism, the waves of anti-Semitism that they're seeing online, especially right now. What kind of advice might you give them who feel browbeaten into just maybe not responding at all?
Right, to the Jews.
To anyone, yeah. Pro-Israel, Jewish, who
right.
may or may not be pro-Israel, but is receiving anti-Semitic hate, all sorts, yeah.
Let me tell you this. Nowadays, we are seeing this spike in anti-Semitism. I'm an Israeli Jew. I was born and raised here. And it terrifies me to see this rise in anti-Semitism. When I traveled to Germany, I saw security outside of a synagogue. I didn't see the same security outside of a church or a mosque. The question is why? We have seen movements against Asian hate, against hate towards the black community. Where are they now? This is the same hatred, except that the anti-Semitism is way more ancient. You know, we have been experiencing this for centuries. Where are they now? We need people to know the truth and to stand up for us, because throughout history, no one stood, no country stood to defend Israel, to defend the Jews. So now that we have a state of our own, the Jewish state, we have every right to defend ourselves by ourselves. And my advice to pro-Israel activists, to Jews, is to be proud of who you are. We have nothing to be ashamed of. We are not committing crimes against humanity. We're not committing war crimes. We're not like them, like the anti-Semites, like Hamas that seeks our destruction. It is the anti-Semites that should be afraid, not the Jews.
All right, Hananya Naftali, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.